Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I am a living Christ. Today I should like to speak to about the ineffectiveness that I have had in talking to you for the 24 years, the past 24 years of my life, the life of a living Christ, a simple man of truth who lives amongst you. One who has risen above the ordinary satanic indoctrination that holds most of you captive slaves. Nothing more than those who support the satanic system of intellectual tyranny over the minds, the hearts of living men and women who have sold out through fear, who have sold out for security because of that fear, not knowing that they had to be muddled in their thoughts by the satanic indoctrination that they had received at the hands of the institutions that they themselves support: government, religion, schools, banks, corporations. These are all satanic organizations that are products of your own mind. You, the living man, the living woman. They are fictions. They do not exist but for the thoughts that you hold in your head, in your intellect. Now, I speak of consciousness, and consciousness is what is. We have the subconscious mind, which is the consciousness of a holistic man, a Christ, a man who has risen above the dualistic tendencies of the satanic intellect, which must be divided, must be traumatically divided through thought, through images, through illusions. That's what a civilized person is. No more than a robotic, institutionalized, believing, a worshiper of beliefs, of thoughts, of ideas, of images, of words. You see, they're symbols. They're representative of that which is the undefined truth that can only be found in the subconscious mind. We have been trained to live in our conscious mind. That's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You see that? Good and evil? That's conscience. That's duality. That's hell. That's ruled by Satan. That's how you've been snookered. You don't know what Satan means. Satan to you is one of the illusions that is promoted by the true Satanists who rule you, your priests, your political leaders. They have made you feel that you are their servants, you are their slaves, when actually you are the creator of these fictional leaders. Priests, the witch doctors of yesteryear, have turned into the priests and ministers of today. They spew positive imagery, which are merely illusions to cover up the blatant, aggravated pain and suffering that you feel when you understand the energy that they are selling. And they are selling for power, their power. They must maintain that power. But you see, they can produce nothing of their own other than to Schnooker, people like you, the true power. You are the creators of wealth. And your wealth is what runs this satanic dynasty that they take control over and make you doubt yourself. I have remained a simple man of truth. I am truth. I am non-dualistic in my view. Do you understand what I mean by non-dualistic? I am truth. I am life. You see, no dualistic concept has any power over this non-dualistic man, holistic man. That's the power that I wield, and I cannot be touched. They tried to put me in prison for 40 years. They convicted the illusionary person that they created out of my name. And when it came time for sentencing, I just refused to accept their sentence because that wasn't me. They spelled my name in all capital letters, and that wasn't me. That was their own illusory person, which that is the only individual that they have power over. I called their bluff. I exposed them. They were Satanists. They were reeling in the face of a single solitary man of truth standing before them and challenging their power, their illusory power. And I refused to contract my life away by accepting their verdict, for it was all a contract. See, most people, when they are convicted, they stand in silence, and that is taken as assent by the Satanists who rule them, and their lives are cut short. They are imprisoned. They are put behind bars, or they are killed. You sign a contract with the army, and you become a person, a GI, government issue, and your life is forfeit from that moment on. You are sent to kill or not kill. You understand? And if you do not kill, you may be killed by those who equally have been confused by their own government in fighting a war that they don't want to fight. At our heart, the depth of our heart, we all want peace. I come from a family of Polish people, poor people. They've all been indoctrinated. They all believe in the system. And they all disbelieve in this living Christ. And I have been exiled from my family. I have left my family 70 years ago, 60 years ago, in 1960. That's 70 years, I guess. I have very little contact with my family because they still have not changed. That's what mind control does to people. They spend a lifetime of confusion, of pain, of suffering. And that's all they know. So that's all that they can deal with. And they serve the system. They give away their wealth. They pay their taxes. They pay their tithing. And the satanic system rolls over them until they die, or they are no more of use. Well, that hasn't happened with me. And I made it a point to leave that toxic environment when I was in my 20s. And I left for freedom, the unknown, not knowing what awaits me. But I knew it had to be better than where I was, because there I understood there was no future to be had. and I had to leave it with my wife, the only other person that I can say person. You see how these words sneak into one's vocabulary? We are trained to use these words, but we don't understand how these words are used against us. You see, we are people, we are men, we are women who are beyond the status of person, which is a dead fictional character created by government to have power over that person. And we agree, we contract, we sell our souls. Well, I survived that temptation. I've been writing about that for the last 24 years on the internet, and I have been attacked roundly by the satanic opposition, who hired henchmen, disinformation henchmen, to destroy the credibility of this living Christ, this simple man of truth. But they have not. They have only succeeded in showing the strength of a living man facing the dead, satanic organization that we call civilized life. What did they do? They declared this living Christ through the media that I was dead. Well, there are many Raymond Karchevskys, and one of them happened to die, and they happened to be living in Chicago. But I left Chicago in 1960s, the late 50s, I should say. I left that life. That was another Raymond Karchevsky. That was not me. But yet, they deal with images and illusions. And they declared that this living Christ was dead, and the image that you see is an impostor. Another disinformation agent. They projected what they were doing, only they attributed me to be a Russian. I was born in Chicago in 1937. I'm 81 years old. I've been through it all. I have survived it all. How well are you doing? How well is your life turning out? The life of your children? It doesn't matter who you are. You see, if you live in the world of duality, your life is an image that is promoted by those who control that reality. They control the schooling of your children. They cause the children to capitulate, to join in, to live. You see, to live is to be a slave to taxes and tithing. I'm trying to break that habit because that is not what we are meant to be here on this earth. I represent you at the depth of your being, for I am a living man, and I am a living man of truth. That's all that Christ is. That's all Jesus of Nazareth was. But look at how you regard him. He's your God. He's your Savior. Baloney. He was just a man trying to tell you that what he could do, that you could do. And if you read my websites and you watch my videos, you will see that what I have done in my life, so can you. When that happens, we change our world. We change. But the change begins with you as it begins with me. Understand? Not in a collective way, but individually. You stand up, alone, all one with truth. That's what a Christ is. And you cannot be defeated by collective satanic thought. I have proven that. I have shown that in the courts of our country, our satanic courts. I have backed them down. I have led a charmed life, but I have led a temptation-full life. And those temptations were necessary to test whether or not I am for real. I assure you, I am for real. But you can't believe that. It's impossible for you to perceive that a man can stand alone. Yet the records would show that I have done that with no organizations behind me. I have posted my websites, my videos for 24 years, basically on the proceeds of my retirement as a police sergeant, where I was forced out of the police department. Oh, I had a back injury, there's no question about that. And I had a reason for a retirement according to the rules, the satanic rules of government. And they used that to get rid of me because I was a pain in the butt of the police organization that I belonged to, and was in a position where I was recognized as having some sort of understanding of what I spoke of. And my truth was unassailable. That's what got me through life. I could not be broken into admitting that I was less than whole. No man had control. No organization had control over this living man. For all these are just fictions which are the creations of living men, such as I. And so I knew that anything that the government could throw at me was merely a fiction, a thought held in the mind, the satanically ruled intellect of those of you who have submitted yourself to be slaves. I bring you the key to heaven on earth, which is life, true life, not the idea of life, the illusion of life that has been trained into you, into your intellectual consciousness. I'm beyond that. I am beyond the control of any satanic intellectual illusion. And I have brought that to you for 24 years, and you have spat upon it. That gesture indicated that you want to remain a slave, and yet complain about it. I'm telling you that there's no easy way. You're either free, you either stand alone and take responsibility for your life, or you cave in. You sell out. You sell your soul to Satan. That's who you are. As citizens, you're a dead person. Dead by birth certification created by government. A fictional piece of paper that tells you that you are inferior by virtue of those who award you that piece of paper, the government. That's how your life has been turned around, upside down, backwards and forward, confused at every turn. I'm here to right you only if you want to. You see, I've scared most of you off by virtue of talking about contributions through donations, and you think I'm in for the money. Well, it requires money in order to continue what I am doing. And my limited retirement fund is not sufficient to do that. So, if you feel that there is something, the ability to allow you to grow through my words and actions, that's the most important thing. You must understand that I am my actions. My words are my actions because I'm non-dualistic. I'm operating from the subconscious mind and showing you the way to that subconscious mind through meditation. Whether you believe it or not, that's your problem. That's your obstacle. Understand? Now, I am the vehicle. I must use words such as vehicle, which is a bridge from the subconscious to the conscious intellect. I must use words, but my words must link with your understanding at the deeper level, the spirit of the word. And unfortunately, I am meeting you with your trained, dead, essence, not essence, but the peripheral level of the letter of the word, which is defined, given a dead definition, to a living force, which is its spirit. So I speak to you with the spirit of the word, and you hear me at the letter of the word. You know, we don't connect, do we? Therefore, you think I'm some kind of scam artist who would stand before a court convicted and yet tell that court, you have no jurisdiction over this living man. You have jurisdiction only over the letter of the word definition that you have created. But that's not me, and that's not you either. And until you can do that, you will never be free. You will die. You will die being a slave that you are, because you lack the understanding of who you, as a living man or woman, truly are, and the power that you have. You are more powerful than your government because you created that government. And what you have created, you can uncreate. If you have received any benefit whatsoever, understanding of the words, of the actions, of the real life experiences of this living, holistic man, you'll have no problem with donating. After all, look at what you're doing now. You're donating your life away through taxes and tithing, and you feel proud to do so. And this living man, the antithesis of that image of illusion of government and religion, he is seen as some kind of phony. Yet I'm free, am I not? And they tried to put me away, have they not? And they have failed, have they not? Doesn't that tell you something? And all that I'm saying to you is that what I have done in my lifetime, in this lifetime, so can you, because you are the living creator. You truly are the God of your own life, and your own life only. I have no power over you. I only have power over my own life. But you see, if you are truly adherent to the spirit of my word, you will understand that my life is your life. And what I have done, so can you. And if that's not worth a donation, what is? Ponder that. Meditate upon that. And set yourself free.